Hi everyone, welcome back. If this is your first time here, my name is Rafiat. Today we are going to make granola, baby granola. This is this granola is for babies from 7 months upward. So that's what we are going to be making today, granola for our baby. I call this mixed box cereal because it's an instant meal. So let me run you through my recipes. I have dates in this pot. So we are going to use rolled oats. That's rolled oats. You can also use steel cut oats in this recipe if that's what you have at hand. So you can also use that. That is rolled oats. So I have dates, like I said, and I'm going to use cashew nuts. This is roasted cashew nuts I'm going to use in this recipe. And we are going to use sesame, pumpkin, and sunflower seed. That's what you're going to use in this recipe. So I sprout this pumpkin and sunflower seed. As you can see, is sprouted. I sprout it because I want to unlock the nutrients in my seed. So that's why I sprout seed and nuts before I use them. So in yeah, like I said, I already have my dates on the stove and I've turned on the heat. If you are going to use hard dates, I will advise you soak the dates for a while before you start cooking it. Here I'm using a soft date. So I'm going to cook it down for a while to make a paste. I'm going to add water to my date just to cook it down so that I can get a paste. This is another way of making date paste, date puree. It's another way of making it and it will last long if you are keeping it in the fridge. We all know that date paste don't last more than 3 days in the fridge. That is if you are making it at home. I don't know if you buy, I don't know what's in there that will make it last longer. But for puree, this will not only last for some days. But if you cook it down like this, I think it should last a week in the fridge. I'll just post the video. I will post the video of how I make this date puree because there are some hard things that I will put in there. So I'll post the video of how to make it. The date puree that will last maybe a week in the fridge. So here I just pour out some water because the water is too much and I'm matching my dates with my spatula. So I'll give it a mix. I just want to cook it down like I said. I want to cook the puree down instead of me throwing everything inside the blender and blend. So I'm just going to cook it down for a while. If I'm making date puree with this, there is something I have to add into it to make it thick. So I'm just going to match this puree. This is going to be, it's not going to be a long video, but it's going to be a little bit long because I want you to see everything. I want you to see the processing. So that's why I'm not going to cut out anything in this video. So I'm going to add nutmeg for a nice aroma and to spice my date puree up. I'm going to add nutmeg. I'll be using 1 teaspoon of nutmeg in this recipe. So here I'm going to add half teaspoon to the puree and the other half teaspoon to the oat mixture. So I'll give it a stir and let it cool. What we want is we don't want water in the date puree and we want a very thick, not very thick, just a thick date puree and um a thick date puree, and I don't want any date particles in there. I just want a puree, a plain puree. Although I might still have some little chunks of dates in there, but it's okay. Everything will disappear when it gets into the hot. So as you cook, as the date puree cook, you have to mix so that it doesn't get burned. I don't know if you are using a non-stick pot, you might not need to mix, but I'm using stainless pot, so I have to mix so that it doesn't get burned. So you give it a mix and you match as you mix, you match the dates. I'm cooking this on a low heat, a very low heat, low medium heat. So that's what I'm cooking this on. As you can see, the water is disappearing. So I'll just mix my dates and I'll turn off the heat and I'll use the remaining heat on the stove to cook the water down. I mean, to cook the dates down. So that's what I'm going to use. If you are making your baby food, always cook it on low heat so that you don't lose all the nutrients in the food to cooking. And if you are cooking your baby's food, make sure you use enough water that will make you blend. I mean, use the water that you will use to blend the food and that will not make it watery. So enough water to blend the food so that you will not discard any water from the food. Because as you cook your baby's food, all the nutrients in the food will go into the water. So you have to blend with the water so you don't lose any nutrients from the food. So I'll give it a mix, and as you mix, you match the date down. As you mix, you match it down. As you can see, we now have a date paste. So you don't just worry about the chunks, about the date chunks. Everything would go when you mix it to the oats. So we have our date paste. The next thing now is to put our oats together. So do not worry about the chunks. It's going to go when they get inside the oats. So we have our date puree. Now let's go to our oats. So this is my frying pan. You don't have to have a non-stick pan before you do this. You can use any frying pan you have for this frying or for this roasting. So you can use any frying pan. You don't have to have a non-stick pan. So I just want to heat up the pan before I add my oats in there. So you can make this in the oven also. All you have to do is mix all the ingredients together and put a parchment paper on your tray, pour it in your tray, put it in the oven and roast on 350-degree for 20 to 25 minutes. After 10 minutes, go to the oat and mix it together so everything cooked through. That is how you do it in the oven. I'm making it on the stove just because for those that don't have oven can see that it's very easy to make too on the stove. So I have to measure my oats into the pan. You can do it in the oven, you can do it on the stove, whichever way you like it. If you go to the description box below, you will see the link to granola my granola recipe. You will see the link to it and to my granola video too. Go check it and see how I make it in the oven. So this way I just want people that don't have oven to see that it's easy for them to make granola on the stove. So we are going to roast this oat until we get a golden brown oat and until it's very dry. When you break through the holes, you see that it's very easy to break through and it's very dry. It's golden brown. We don't want a dark brown. We don't want a burnt oat because if you make it burnt, it will taste in the granola and you or your baby is not going to like it. This is a baby food we are making. It's a baby food processing, and it's going to be among the baby food series I'm making, baby food processing series I'm making. So this is the series 2. The series 1 is oat powder, which is very easy to make. Don't buy oat powder again. Just go to the description box and check how I make oat powder. And I have some ads in there that that I have some ads in there, so it will make the oats more nutritious. So just go to the description box and check the oat powder. So this is the second series of the baby food processing, and this is granola, baby granola. Just call it baby nola. That's okay. So I call this instant meal cereal. I call them mix box cereal because it's very easy to make. Just grab the cereal and hot water, mix them together, and voila, you have your baby food. So that's why I call them mix box cereal. And it's packed with a lot of nutrients, with a lot of minerals and vitamins, and also unhealthy fats. We have a lot of healthy fats in there. So I'm just mixing so that it doesn't get burned. So you have to mix your oats. And remember, I'm on a medium heat. We are cooking the oats on a medium heat. So if you check the unroasted oats, you will see that it's very soft and it's not easy to bake through. But if you check this oats, for you to know it's ready, you just cut through and you will see that it's very easy to cut, crunchy and hard, not soft, not too hard, but just roasted. Okay, just give. As you can see that I'm changing my hand is because my wrist is aching. So that's why I like making this in the oven, but don't get discouraged. You can make it on the stove too. It's very easy to make. Maybe because of the spatula I'm using, so that's why I keep changing my hand. So you can just use whatever you like, but it's very easy to make in the oven. I won't lie to you because you just throw all the ingredients together and put in the oven. But here we are going to mix and mix and mix and mix. It's a wrist exercise, okay? So we are mixing our oats. Remember, this is an instant meal. You don't have to cook it again after blending it, after processing it. You don't have to cook it. All you have to do is add hot water to heat for your baby. That's just it. So I think the oats is almost ready. And before it's ready, I'm going to add the seed so that the seed can just cook through with oats. I don't want it to be so dry. That is why I didn't add the seed to the oats at the beginning. So you give your oats a mix. I'm not editing anything. I just want you to see the process, the time, and everything. So as you can see, our oat is almost ready. It's almost ready. It's not that dry, but almost ready. So this is the time we're going to add the seeds to it. We're going to add the pumpkin and sunflower seed, sprouted pumpkin and sunflower seed. Yeah, it's very good to sprout your seeds and nuts before you use them. Sprout nuts like almonds, like peanuts, all those are you can sprout that overnight. You soak it for overnight, then you drain the water, leave a little bit of water in there so that it gets sprout. And for Cashew nut is just for 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours is okay to sprout your cashew nuts. So after 6 hours, just discard the water and let it dry before you roast. But peanuts is very, very important for you to soak your peanuts overnight so that you unlock the nutrients in the nut. So I'm adding the remaining nutmeg into the oats mix, and I'll give it a stir. Remember, we added half teaspoon of nutmeg into our dates, and now we are adding half teaspoon into the oats mixture. So this oat is almost ready. Let's break through the seed and see if the seed is ready. As you can see, the seed is ready. The pumpkin seed is ready. So we check the sunflower seed. Oh, I think this is not ready. So we have to give it a little bit of mix. But the pumpkin is ready. So the oat is ready, and I'll just pour it into my bowl. And now I'm going to add my cashew nuts. Like I said, it's roasted cashew nuts, but I just want to warm it up, just to give it a warm. If there's any jams in there, it will just go away. I know there's no jams in there because I always clean my jar before I always sterilize my jar before I add anything to heat, but just to give it a heat so that we can say we are making a baby food here. Everything has to be neat, everything has to be hygienic. So as you can see, it's ready. I just eat it up because it's roasted already. Just eat it up. And before I start all this processing, I've washed my hand thoroughly. So it's very okay for me to touch anything there. So everything is ready. We have our oats here. We have the seeds and the oats and the nuts. So now we are going to start mixing. I'm going to add the dates to the oats mixture so that it comes together. But before then, we are going to use oil. So I leave so many options. You can use oil, you can use butter, you can use ghee. Yeah, you can use ghee, you can use oil, you can use butter, any oil. Excuse me, not any oil. You can use coconut oil, you can use sunflower oil. Very good oil that your baby can take. You can add them. This is ghee. Yeah. The video of how I make this ghee, I'll drop it in the description box below so you can see. And you can use coconut oil, you can use sunflower oil. But here I'm going to use coconut oil. You can also use butter if you have butter. You melt the butter before you use it. So I'm going to use coconut oil. So I just want to measure my coconut oil. So I just add my oil in there. So that's my oil in, and we are going to mix everything together. I'm going to give it a mix. Let me know at the comment section if your kids really like granola like mine. My kids love granola and they want granola in almost all their wet whatever they are taking as they want it in milk sometimes. Just sprinkle granola in their milk so that they can just see something to chew when you're giving them milk. Wow, I've never seen that before. Let me know if your kids like granola at the comment section. And let me know in the comment section if there's any other baby food you would like me to make. I have a lot of them. And if you go to my website, you see a lot of baby food there. I made it into a downloadable document for mothers, so it will be very easy for you to use and paste on your wall. So here I'm adding the date puree. That's our date puree. I'll be sharing the recipe of this date puree, because if you are going to store it, there are some things you have to add into it. So I'll be sharing the video of how I make the date puree that will last a week, more than a week in your fridge. So we give it a mix. So let me know in the comment section if there is any baby food recipe you've seen on my website and you want me to make the video. So let's give it a mix, a nice mix, so that the ingredients come together. So what we are going to do here is we are going to leave these oats to dry. If you can't wait, because we are going to wait for some hours for it to dry up, or just put it in the oven. If you don't have oven, just pour it on your stove, pour it back in the frying pan and fry for 10 to 15 minutes for the oats to dry, because we had wet to it, so it will be very wet. Or just leave it on your counter for some time to dry out. So as you can see, it's still wet, not too wet. I am telling you this, not too wet. So you can just put it on on the stove, on the frying pan, and eat for some time on a low heat for sometimes. You only like 5 to 10 minutes is okay. But if you have oven, just pour it in your oven tray and keep there on your keep warm. If you have a keep warm button in your oven, just keep it on keep warm. If you don't have keep warm button, just put it on a very low degree, maybe like 120, I don't know, on a very low degree, so that you don't burn it. It's just to heat it up, just to make it dry. Or spread it in a pan and leave it on the counter. It will dry out. It will really dry out. Everything will come together. Everything will add up. As you can see, it's still a little bit wet, not too wet like I said. So that's what you are going to do. Just let it dry out, because if you don't dry it out, it will not be easy for you to blend. Yeah, we are going to blend this. You can't feed your baby this, you can't. I know some people will be like, is this what I'm going to give my baby? No, we are going to blend everything into powder. So that's why you have to let it dry before you throw it in your blender. If you don't let it dry, it will be very wet and it will be very difficult for you to blend. So let's leave this for some minutes to dry out before we blend. For easy way, I'm going to put this into my oven for some time. So when we come back, we are going to blend this pretty granola, pretty baby granola. So mamas and papas, friends, this is the granola. As you can see, is inside my food processor. You don't have to have a food processor. The grinder in your oven is okay to grind this. So we are just going to process it. As you can see, the granola is ready. Is ready. I've grinded it into a powder form and I add it to my jar. So you can store this on your counter for 3 to 4 weeks. You can also put it in the fridge so that it's so cool. So anytime you are going out, just take the quantity you want to take and hot water with you anywhere you are going. You can add powdered milk to, you can add formula to it, baby formula to it, or you can just give them like that if you want. But it's okay to add, it's very okay, and to add baby formula to it before you give them this. Make it as you make your baby food, okay? That's how you make it. So thank you for staying with me. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to always give my video a very big thumbs up if you like it. And until we see in another video, bye.